On previous video, we explained different way for scanning, and we were able to get some important information, some active important information, like the live machine, which one from the network is live, is connected to the network, the port, service running on those ports, operating system, MAC address of the machine, if the machine is physical or virtual. We were able to get the topology, how the machines are connected together. And if you don't remember that, just get back to the Nmap module, where we used a tool called ZenMap. It's a graphical tool, and we were able to see how the network look like. And what will be remaining in this section is to identify the vulnerabilities that we have on different systems. So I need to know how vulnerable they are. I need to know which one is more vulnerable than other, because as I mentioned in previous videos, that what we are looking for when we are scanning a network, we are looking for just weak machine. So if you have a network and we need to compromise this network, I will not start focusing on the secure machine. I will start on the weak machine. And if I'm able to compromise one of those weak machines, I'll be able to compromise the secured one. So this requests that you'll be aware which one is more vulnerable than other, which one has more weakness. And let me remind you what is the difference between vulnerable or vulnerability and between exploit. Vulnerability is a weakness inside the system. Exploit is the programs that can be used to compromise the system through this vulnerability. So sometimes you may have a vulnerability but don't have an exploit for that. So, like for instance, you have an open port but it doesn't have a service on it, so you cannot exploit that. So it's a weak vulnerability, and so on. Now, to be able to do that, to identify which machine is more vulnerable, because vulnerability will exist in services, in operating system, in application, in many things. Instead of searching on different websites, I can use a vulnerability scanner tool. And one of the very good vulnerability tools is the nessus. Nessus, from an organization called Tenable Network Security. It's a very powerful vulnerability scanner that will scan and identify the vulnerability, which one is high vulnerability or medium or low. And they have two different editions. They have the Home edition and Professional edition. Home is free, while Professional, it's kind of expensive. So let me show you how it look like. So if you go to nessus, you go to this website. I'm gonna share with you the link. You can download the Home edition. You'll be just requested to enter your name and email, and then they will give you the download link, and they will send you a activation link on your email to activate your account. Now, once you download it, here's how it look like. So if we go here and go to nessus, it's a web application, and you'll get this message. Don't worry about this message, just click on continue. This is a certificate message, and on the first step, usually you'll be requesting for a login, to create an account to log in, and then you get to this page. When you start this application, you'll not be able to run it. You need first to create a policy. So at the beginning, you need to go to policy, and then you go to new policy, and you will find that he got some good option in policy. You have advanced scan, you have network scan, you have network discovery. So you choose which policy you want. So you start by choosing. You can choose one or more. So I already choose a couple of policies. Then you can go to scan, and on scan, I just need to open a machine or something. Let me open this machine, for instance. Okay. On scan, you go and you click on new scan, and you're going to find here the policy that you have and you created. And I'm going to choose basic network policy. And then you can go to name the scan. So this one will be server scan. You put any name you want, that I'm scanning a server. You can put the name of the server and descriptional, and where the information will be saved. You can have any folder you want, and then you can put one IP or more. So in my case, I'm going to put 192.168.95.33. I can put there, or I can put a full network, which will be more effective, but it will take more time. So I can put like that. So he'll scan all the machine, and accordingly, I can know which one is more vulnerable instead of doing that one by one. Or in my case, I can just choose one, just for the sake of time. And then we can go here and we can click on launch. So it will launch. It may take few minutes, and then it will give us the results. Okay, so I need to free some space. I believe I have a problem with the space, so let me just, okay, empty. Now I think I miswrite the IP of the machine. It's not 133, so maybe that's why, or this is the problem. It's 137, and cancel. Let me repeat that. Here you go, and we choose let's go to scan and new scan, and I'm going to choose basic network scan. We're going to name that client scan, and I'm going to put the IP. As I told you, you can put one or more, or even full subnet. So it will be 192.168.95.137, and I need to do something on the client machine before we start, because I believe I have a honeypot, so this may cause a small problem. So I'm just preparing my victim, just to show you how the result look like. But in real life, you don't do that. You just scan for vulnerability on the victim, but don't do any problem to show. So the concept will be clear. And then I can click on launch. And you're going to launch the scan. And as you can see, it's running. It may take few seconds depending on the if you are scanning one or more, and it will give you a report that you can have in different format, but we have to wait for a few seconds just to see how to look like. So while it's running now, two tools you need to have, and you need to be very familiar during this stage. Nmap, and this will help you for scanning, and as you can see, it's very, very effective. And if you have any problem, you can use the graphical one. Nmap will give you a very good report about all the port and service and topology and the live system and so on. And nessus also is very handy. Definitely for people who's working in this field, they used to have more than one tools. I mean, usually when I'm scanning, I use Nmap, I use a tool called Necto, I use SuperScan, I use more than one tools, because you're going to notice that different tools may give you different results. Also in vulnerability scanning, I also use nessus, and I use Necto as well, and I use like 3-4 other tools. So I will not depend on only one results from one tools. I have to have variety of tools, because as I told you, you're going to notice that different tools may give you a little bit different results. Okay. I don't know if we should pause for second, or let's wait until it finishes. With this video, I'm going to add the small tutorial explaining how to install and set up nessus. Actually, it's straightforward, but just in case you need to have a reference about that, I'm going to add a small tutorial explaining to you how it's done. Okay, I believe it's better to pause because it may take like 6-7 minutes, and I don't want you to waste your time during that. And I'll get back to you once the nmap result, nessus result finish. So it's done. Took about like 10 minutes, and let's see what we have. So he finished scanning, and if you click, you get that you have 6 high vulnerability. So most probably you can hack the system. 3 medium, 8 low, or actually this is very high, critical on this side. And if you click on any one of those, you get the details. So Microsoft Windows, some service has a problem, and as you can see, you have different kind of problem. They even give you the name of the vulnerability, which you can use to exploit that. So later on the exploit, you're going to see that using those information, it's quite easy. Not necessarily you'll be understanding what is this exploit is all about, or the service that has a problem, it's doing what exactly. But you're going to notice that it's quite easy to compromise the system with those amount of vulnerability. And you even have the name of the vulnerability. This will be a very, very useful information. Now, you can export that to a PDF file, for instance, if you need to submit a report to your management explaining the situation in details. So you can suggest some solution or some equipment or some appliance. You can submit it in different formats. So let me show you how it looks like. And it's a very nice looking report that will explain everything regarding what has been found, the vulnerability, and it explains it's related to which services. Maybe you don't have a latest update, maybe you have a service that represents a vulnerability and can lead to compromising the system. So you can get that in a report, and as you can see, it's quite easy to understand. Now, using those information and the upcoming video for enumeration, those will be your assets that will allow you to compromise the system. So you need to spend as much time in reconnaissance and scanning, because this will make the hacking or the penetration quite easy, and it will allow you to plan which vulnerability or which weakness you're going to use to compromise the system. Thank you, and see you in the next video.